Why don't you ever have me on your show to talk about these things?
Once you get hair, I'm going to have you back.
If the president of the United States wanted to come on your show, would you want to have him on?
Is this the topic? You're kind of holding on to this for dear life because you're looking for an answer that I haven't given you yet.
If I could get Dan Patrick on, I'll figure out how to piss him off.
I truly, truly do not care. What else is bothering you here?
You know, arguably the most handsome man in this frame is Dan Patrick because he's got good hair. You know, but like Muhammad Ali and other greats, he announced like 3 years ago he was going to retire, and he's still here. What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for a rocking chair? Are you waiting for Depends? What are you waiting for?
Okay, I just said this was the last contract I was going to sign. Oh. It wasn't I'm retiring as much as this is my last contract. Then everybody went, oh, so that means you're retiring in 4 years. I have 2.5 years left. I'm really sorry that, I put this on America and then they have to wait to celebrate. I don't know when you start getting somebody gifts when they get ready to retire. Do I have to wait till the final year? But yeah, it's a long, drawn-out process. The long and winding road, as Paul sang. And deal with it.
Yeah, I'm dealing with it. I love it. I don't want you to retire.
I don't think you're dealing with it well. Do you have a gift for me? How about your jersey from all the times that Coach Knight yelled at you? You want to autograph your Indiana jersey, and I can put it up here in the man cave?
I probably will. I got to find it because I'm not a big collector guy. I lost my very coveted by people, the Indiana All-Stars. You make the Indiana All-Star here. You're a big-time guy. I made it, and I lost my game shorts frolicking in Lake Michigan with my girlfriend, Mo Mama. So I'm not I'd have to find that one. All right,
Did you have groupies? Did you have groupies in high school?
I did, weirdly enough, from the Gary schools. The sisters loved me at Gary Roosevelt. Like, girls called, I don't know if you ever saw the Happy Days. This is Dan, you ever see you watched Happy Days, right?
Yeah.
Richie was the high school star, and some girls wanted to meet him from a rival high school, and they locked him in Arnold's or somewhere. Couple girls called me from Gary Roosevelt and wanted to meet up, and I'm like, I'm not falling for that, pal. I'm not doing that. But no. I did have a 10-year stalker, but that's a different story. Let's talk about stuff. You ready?
Yeah.
Can we talk about stuff? If the president of the United States wanted to come on your show, did it matter what politics it would be? Wouldn't you want to have him on your show? I saw where ESPN, Finebaum is saying that couldn't happen. First, do you believe the story that ESPN squelched that? And you always want the president to come on if you're a talk show host, don't you?
It depends on what the topics are. If it's sports,
really?
Yes. Yeah, I don't. No, I promised my audience when I started this, when I left ESPN, if you want that, you can go find it someplace else, and they'll do better job than I. I'm gonna deal with what I know and know best, and that is sports. There can be entertainment in there, but no, that's not what I do. That's not what I want to do. No matter if it's Obama, Clinton, Trump. I was friends with George Bush Sr. Went to a couple of baseball. I enjoyed him. Had him on one time, but we just talked baseball. Clinton came on, and I talked to him about all the jerseys that he received when he was the president. Like, where are those? And, so it was very Arkansas sports. It wasn't politics. Nobody wants to hear that from me.
No, I get that, but let's say that, Trump is a sports guy. I mean, if Trump said, I want to go on the Dan Patrick show during a game, you would do that, wouldn't you? You would have to, because you could talk sports with Trump.
If we stay with
if he said, I want to talk about Mideast relations, if he wanted to talk about the Middle East,
But he might.
Yeah, all right. So you think it was right for ESPN to say no go?
I don't even know the story. Why are you leading the
about?
witness here? What's the no-go that they couldn't have Trump on?
Oh, Finebaum said the other day when he said he might go on and run for Senate, he said that ESPN nixed him at a big-time Alabama game, having Donald Trump on his show. And a lot of people then said, well, see, ESPN has a liberal bias. They won't let a conservative president on. And I figured, you would be a great guy to ask that question because you work there. You have been friends with presidents. You aren't political. I figured you're the perfect guy to ask that question to.
I haven't been there in 18 years. I don't know the politics of their opinion on politics. I'm not involved in it. But if you're saying, should Finebaum be able to have the president on his show? Yeah, I think he should be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. I figured you would be the perfect guy because you understand the way these things work. If you have a talk show and you're doing a game and it's at the game and the president wants to come on, the assumption I would make is he doesn't want to talk about politics. He wants to talk about sports. Hell, I want the president on.
I've known him since 1983.
Which one?
Trump.
Okay.
I've been in his office. I've been to press conferences when Doug Flutie signed, when Herschel Walker signed. I was there on the upfronts at NBC when he was doing The Apprentice. I was in Tahoe when he was in Tahoe. So I've been around him.
Would you want to have him on? Have you ever had him on?
Is this the topic? Like you're kind of holding on to this for dear life because you're looking for an answer that I haven't given you yet.
No, not at all. I'm curious if you've ever had him on.
If we talk sports,
I asked you, have you had him on?
I haven't had him on as the president.
So we're not having Trump on. You were snarky to begin with, but we got it settled out.
No, you were
nice
sassy.
Interview.
You were doing the whole, I'm going to set you
sassy.
up. You never bring up politics before. You set me up a little bit here.
No, but I was curious, legitimately curious, because I think if I could get the president on, I'll figure out how to interview him. If I could get Dan Patrick on, I'll figure out how to piss him off. If I could get Barkley on, I'll figure out how to make him laugh. I figured you knew the story, number one, and number two, I figured, you know what? It's a legit question. I'll figure it out, but I want to have the president on as I'm a talk show host. It's a freaking president. And it shocked me that ESPN wouldn't do it. I don't give a shit about the politics. I don't care about any of that.
Yeah, I didn't know the story. I truly did not know the story. That was a backdoor cut. That was Princeton offense, and you did a backdoor cut, and Pete Carrill goes, yeah, did it. Look at us. We're going to beat Georgetown. That's what you just did.
And you
did a backdoor cut.
And you were UCLA that didn't know the backdoor cut was coming because you hadn't done your damn homework on what's going on in sports.
Well, you could say that, but I was using the Georgetown Princeton. You were doing UCLA. And who was my coach? Black hair, UCLA.
Oh, Herrick? Jim Herrick?
Yeah, Jim Herrick. Yeah, that was bad.
Have you ever is there somebody that you've wanted on that you haven't been able to get on? Like, I really want this guy on, but I just haven't been able to get it done. Or he doesn't like you, or you know what I mean?
Well, I would say Jordan. That when I was doing not since I left the mothership. No, he doesn't. Why would Mike take time to do any of this nonsense? Why?
Because he probably bet on Russian table tennis during the pandemic. What does he really have to do? What does he really have to do?
He plays golf every day. He plays 36 holes. He's got a couple of young kids. He makes $100 million a day, it feels like. Like, do you think he really wants to go through the grind and have me talk to him about what went wrong in Charlotte or the Wizards? Or did he really push off on Byron Russell? Right?
Hey, Mike, man, in 1987, you did this. Why? I don't think Michael Jordan has done, maybe not in this podcast era, I don't think he's done interviews, has he? I don't think I've ever can remember where, other than that Last Dance thing, I don't think he's done interviews, no?
No. He doesn't, he's not interested in that. I don't think he craves the attention. I think he gets attention. I don't think he's, hey, I want to be on that show. I want to be interviewed. Now, he did do The Last Dance. I think The Last Dance was to remind a new generation of, you think LeBron's really good? He ain't me. And I think that message was delivered loud and clear.
You've had a lot of people on your show reacting to The Last Dance. Is the perception of Jordan from guys after watching that were in The Last Dance, other than Isaiah, who doesn't like him, but is the perception that Jordan helped himself or hurt himself in The Last Dance, or does it not matter because it's Jordan?
I think it helped him because it's like when Muhammad Ali died, people didn't realize, a new generation of just who he was and what he did and how he did it. And you got all this archival footage. A lot of people saw him as this very fragile man. You'd see him at the Olympics where he'd be lighting the cauldron, and not that it took that, for people to look back on Michael, but everything was there. It's just a new generation. And you're kind of beholden to your generation that this guy is better than this guy. Is Brady better than Montana? Is, LeBron better than Mike? We love, Tiger against Jack, and you kind of hold on, for dear life to your memories. But I think people realized that Michael was a prick. Like he was, purposely. He was a tough teammate. But his bottom line was, I'm going to be great. We're going to be great. We're going to win. And I think the message was sent that LeBron's doing some nice things and racking up all these numbers, but if game on the line, I'm going to win it. And he took no prisoners. The fact that he made up these rivalries, and I mean, that's when you get bored, when you're really good at something, and you go, I need degree of difficulty here. LeBradford Smith, he said something about me. He did, yeah, but I'm going to take it out. Poor LeBradford Smith, he's like, I didn't say anything to him. That's when you know you've reached a pretty high level.
George Karl's in a restaurant and he doesn't kiss his ring. I'm going to kick his old ass. That's it. Right? I'm going to, people say you used the word prick. I said this when Coach Knight died. I said, it was our thing. If you didn't like it, great. I mean, I get it, but it was our thing. Was he abusive? Yeah, but who cares? Well, how could you stand? Well, I did because it was our thing. And I never saw a guy like Jordan as a prick. I don't know why. Maybe I'm sick that way, but I feel like Michael Jordan might be the best teammate anybody could possibly have, because we see the opposite so often of guys not giving a rat's ass, that kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm off. People tell me I'm crazy for feeling this way, but I never felt him to be a prick. I felt him to be an unbelievable teammate. Weird.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're punching Steve Kerr in the face. I mean, let me just start there as teammates go. Wow. Steve Kerr deserves getting punched in the face, huh?
Apparently, according to Michael Jordan, something
Well,
happened.
that was one time in practice, but still, guys talked about getting the look from Michael. Like if you missed 2 shots in a row, you got the look and you weren't getting the ball. I think he was a great teammate out of fear. You wanted to rise to his level. Now, if you want to say that's
bad?
Well, if you'd let me finish, I would have said, if you think, what's going on here? What's going on? You're fired up over something, and would I have President Trump on to talk sports? Yes, I would. Yeah, I mean,
okay.
What else? What else is bothering you here?
No, I'm doing good. I'm having a great day. I got my lawn mowed. I'm having the house painted. I got the Cubs on TV. No, I did interrupt you because I'm excited to talk to you. You're my guy.
All right. But I think I say that, Mike was a prick, but I say that in an endearing way, that that's who he was and who he is. And Bird was that way. Bird was tough. He wasn't, I don't think, that kind of abusive to a teammate, but I think he was pretty tough on those guys. And he was certainly tough on the opposition. I mean, Mike didn't talk trash like Larry did. Larry would just come out and say it. Mike would come out and do it. Larry wanted to let you know, I'm going to get it here. I'm going to turn, fake that way, go that way, and I'm going to make it right in your face. And he would do that. But I love those kind of players, those athletes, that it's so important. It matters the most. It's the bottom line with everything. Pete Rose, he didn't care, but he cared, more than anybody. He didn't care about you as much as it's an all-star game and Ray Fosse's there at home plate. I got to win this game. I'm going to run you over. And there's appreciation as a fan that you want them to want it as bad as you think they do, or you do. And, I have great admiration for that.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing worse than a teammate that doesn't give a rat's ass when you're kicking when you're busting it yourself. And there's nothing better when the best player is doing all those things. Speaking of best players, is the WNBA, is that Collier lady being smart coming out with all that she did? Is that a ploy? Is that sour grapes because they just lost? I didn't hear anybody, Dan. My stance on that is I didn't hear her talking about the official and playing safety when they were beating the crap out of Caitlin Clark. Where are you at with what the WNBA and how they've positioned themselves moving forward here into the offseason?
Well, it's getting dirty. It's getting dirty. She's a very bright woman. I'm a little surprised that she included Caitlin Clark in the conversation. And even though they have the same agent, it feels like the WNBA turned on Caitlin Clark. Now they're turning to Caitlin Clark to say, hey, you know what? We need her. Hey, this private conversation I had with the commissioner said Caitlin should, be thankful. She should, everybody should get down on their knees because the amount of money. This commissioner, has done some positive things. They have 5 new expansion teams coming up. They got a TV deal. So there's some positives there. It's the role of the commissioner is kind of to give the presentation of the growth of the game, but also keep the players down. You got to keep them down to a certain level. There's only so much of a financial pie that's going to be available to these players. Are they going to make $300,000? Maybe someday, but Caitlin Clark shouldn't make $78,000 a year and then be thankful that she gets to make $16 million off the court. The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark does not need the WNBA.
She didn't play. Team did well. I cover them. We cover them here in Indy. You think that's changed at all? I mean, or do you think that's been accentuated by the ratings fall without Clark?
What's been accentuated?
Well, do you think the fact that the NBA or the WNBA doesn't need Clark, the Fever did better without her, a lot of people are saying that, or the ratings, a lot of people are saying the ratings fell significantly, which maybe they did, but they're also better than they've ever been. Do you think Clark being out here for basically the entire season, 13 games she played, what do you think that did to the league? Ultimately, does it enhance it because people get to see others and anticipation of her, or is it like, see, we told you, Clark's the whole league. Ratings went down.
I don't know if there was a tune-in factor. I don't think people in our business were talking about the WNBA as much. It's really about Caitlin Clark. I mean, Paige Beckers was wonderful. And look, Asia Wilson is a great player, but there's not a tune-in factor there. There's a tune-in factor for Caitlin Clark. They had a wonderful season without her. Cunningham wasn't there for the latter part of it, but you still need Caitlin Clark. You need to have a tune-in factor. It would be like the NBA didn't have anybody else nationally known, but you had Steph Curry. That was it. Now, is that enough? No, it's not. But I do think it helped us see other players that maybe we wouldn't have, but it's still, the person who is pointing the compass north is Caitlin Clark.
Did a lot of people not get after you, but comment or have a real strong opinion about this Bad Bunny being the Super Bowl entertainer? I feel like people just lose their mind every year off who's going to be the Super Bowl halftime. Did you get a lot of feedback on that?
I didn't even bring it up until somebody brought, I don't care. I cover the Super Bowl. I cover the Super Bowl. I don't care. I didn't care Springsteen when he did it or U2 did it. The only guy I cared about was Prince because I was there and he's playing Purple Rain and it's raining. And I said, this is one of the most iconic moments in my music history. But, then people don't even know that Bad Bunny is from Puerto Rico. They're like, we should have people from the United States. And I go, he's from Puerto Rico. Like, come on. We had Coldplay and U2 and some of these, bands that are from outside the United States. But I truly, truly do not care about the halftime show. The only thing I suggested is it'd be nice to do a tribute to country music and have George Strait and Chris Stapleton, have 5 or 6 artists. That to me would be interesting. I'm a big country music fan, but as far as Bad Bunny, I'm aware of the music. He dated a Kardashian, and pretty much that's all I know.
That's why I asked you the question, because I figured that's how you approached it. That's exactly how I am. I got watching Bruno Mars, and I'm like, damn, was he good? Who is this guy?
He was great.
He was doing it.
He was great.
Yes.
I
didn't know Bruno Mars.
But we get caught up in this. Yeah. When the rappers were doing the halftime, I don't even watch it. It's kind of on, but I don't go to a Super Bowl viewing party, just so you know. The viewing party is a party of one, and it's me. Yes. If I'm not at it and covering it, I just want to watch it. I don't need anybody there to go, so wait, which one's Patrick Mahomes? He's 15. That's him right there. Who dates Taylor Swift? That guy right there. I don't need that.
Yeah.
I don't need any questions.
Yeah,
just let me stay down in the basement with my cigar, tequila, and then I'm good.
Yes, I let my wife hang with me. I'm like, come on, because she's a coach, and she'll talk strategy, and then I'm trying to bet every play, and leave me the hell alone. I don't need nothing.
I could be watching with Lombardi, and I go, I don't want to watch with Vince Lombardi. I just want to watch it. I don't want him going to go, and we're going to run this way, and we're. It's like, I don't want to. I just want to sit there and watch. I'll have an opinion on Bad Bunny or Bruce Springsteen, but other than that, it didn't ruin my day. It didn't make my day.
Honest to God. It didn't matter to my day. What is this thing you got going now with Shea and Irving? I apologize, but I kind of like it. What is it, Twitter Live, or what are you doing?
Well, we can't do it live because I can't trust him.
Okay.
But he is a diehard Cowboy fan, and he's come in a couple of Sunday nights. We set up a screen, and then we react to the game, but he's so much fun to be around, and he's part of my gambling podcast. And he just is so passionate about the Cowboys, and he just makes for great content. But, yeah, we just sit there. He doesn't drink or do anything anymore because he did everything before. And so I just sit there with cigar, tequila, and I just try to, incite him a little bit so he gets crazy. But, yeah, it's been fun. We're going to do another one, but I can't do it live. I cannot because the things that are said wouldn't be good.
Yeah. No, I get that. You covered him. I didn't really pay attention to him, but here in Indy, Daniel Jones is all the rage. Give me your thoughts going into Daniel Jones coming to the Colts, and what are your thoughts now? Is this real? Everybody tells me from the people that are my producers in New York, they're like, yeah, wait till game 6, you're going to hate him. Wait till game 5, you're going to hate him. Where are you at with Daniel Jones?
As crazy as it's going to sound, I thought the Colts could be a playoff team, and I thought that Daniel Jones would do well. But he would do well because he got out of New York. He doesn't have to be a savior. This is like an underdog comeback story there. If he just played, didn't fumble the ball, and all he had to do was be better than Anthony Richardson, which wasn't going to take much. Jonathan Taylor might be the most underrated running back that we've had in a long, long time. And it just felt like they're in a bad division. So I'm thinking, they were on the cusp of the playoffs last year. So I thought they could be a 10-win team, and he could be a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback because he would get more credit if they won. And he's played well, but it all comes down to turnovers with him. I think he's extremely athletic. I think he tries too much. When he tries too hard, that's when he messes up. And in New York, I think he felt that pressure of trying too hard. They got rid of Saquon, so now I got to do even more, and he couldn't live up to that.
If you could be and have had Kent Benson's college career, player of the year, all that, or Steve Alford's college career, who are you going with, Big D?
I'm Alford. I am truly Alford. Good hair, great shooter,
Good.
No defense, and I think I was Alford before Alford.
You did have good hair.
Yeah.
You asked me off air. Well, if you were Alford, you asked me about groupies off air. Now I got to tell you, that dude had groupies walking around. Him and Damon Bailey, man. Damon Bailey and him. It was like a harem following him. He'd stop at the stop sign, and then they would stop, and then he would go.
Let's, stay in touch, okay? Stay in touch. Good luck to your Cubs. Good luck to your Cubs. And let me know if you get the president on. And if you do, tell him I said hello.
If you do, I'm going to give him your number and say he's dying to have you on, and he would like to talk about what's going on in Gaza.
He has my number, and he has everybody's number.
That's true. That's true.
He should just blind call. Well, he should just call the hotline for Finebaum. What's Finebaum going to do? Hang up on him?
Let me ask you, if you got a call, I'm sure, the reason I'm asking you this, some guys you can't ask this, but I'm sure you've got idiot friends that if you got a call out of the blue from like somebody, like the president, whatever, would you immediately go, hey, president, and you didn't know the number, or would you go, all right, who's jacking with me here? Come on, what is this, Sid, Sam? Which way would you go?
I would say, give me your number. We're going to call you back.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. That's from, what's it called? No, that's, I get it. All right, brother. Appreciate you. Why don't you ever have me on your show to talk about these things? The Daniel Jones. What? I'm begging here. I like coming on your show. People listen to your show. There you go.
Once you once you get hair, I'm going to have you back.
Boy, that's not going to happen. Although I am rubbing some thing on it that my wife gave me. She gave me some things, said take a swing. So I've been rubbing it on.
Don't rub too hard because you're not. There's nothing up there. You're rubbing the hair off. It's all right. You know what? You get by with personality and charm.
Yeah, and my back hair is growing in nicely.
I
so
like
it's all
it.
good, man.
It looks hot. When you send me those topless pictures, it's very hot.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but you know what? I appreciate it. Nothing like a good manly photo. All right, I have to go. I can't sit here and dick around.
Goodbye. You got a hard out. That means that hard out was a lie. You just didn't want to do anymore because we're past the hard out.
Let me
hard
ask
out
you
means
about.
It's over.
See you later.